All right, this next movement is gonna be the Soleus Slouch. Credit to David Gray for another awesome exercise here. The purpose of this exercise, well, there's really a couple. This is gonna be emphasizing a really important lower body mechanics concept, which is that we want to extend our hips before we extend our knees when we're doing anything dynamic in real space. A lot of times you're gonna see people do the opposite of getting this hyperextension of the knee, and then the hip comes forward and they're giving up a ton of power there, and it also puts your body in a much more at-risk position for injury. Another point of this exercise is gonna be to work on learning how to push through the middle of our foot and how to collapse our arch as we push. So a lot of times there's this notion that high arches are always a good thing, and that's not necessarily true. A high arch can be a good and elastic structure, but it also needs the ability to push into the ground. We don't want anything that's just stuck in one place. So the Soleus Slouch is gonna target both of these concepts simultaneously. The way it works is, you don't need a physical object in front of you, but it's nice to have something to keep you accountable for your angles. We're gonna have our knee pass slightly over our toe, or it can be roughly in line with toe level. And the point of this object, the box in front of me here, is just to keep me honest on keeping the shin angle constant the entire time. The angle of the shin is never gonna move, and the level of my hip is never gonna move either. So those are both gonna be constants for the whole movement. The only thing that's gonna change is my torso slouching over and my foot pushing into the ground to drive me back up. So this is, again, building that connection between hip to foot and doing it in a relevant way that trains hip extension before knee extension. So to begin, we're gonna get back into this kickstand position. This leg is gonna be slightly behind us. And again, remember, shin angle constant the entire time, and we're gonna have our hip in the exact same place the entire time as well. So now, with this constant locked in angle, we're gonna slouch. And then here's the key. Once you hit the bottom, we're gonna drive, pushing into the midfoot. Initially, I don't even need to move. You can see I'm starting to shake because of that connection from pushing into the forefoot. But eventually, we're gonna wanna drive back up, extending the hips before we extend the knees. And in some cases, it's gonna be a little hard for folks to feel their midfoot who haven't learned how to push through it before. So you can take something like a small band or a sock and have that as feedback of what to push into as you're doing this exercise. So to demo again, we'll have this band underneath me here to give me feedback on where my midfoot is. So I'll line it up in the exact same start position, but now I have a band underneath the middle of my foot. And we'll do the exact same thing, coming down into the slouch. And now that we're at the bottom, I want to think about pushing this band into the ground as intently as I can. You want to feel that your foot on the band there, the arch collapsing and sinking onto the foot, pushing that midfoot into the band. As you drive yourself back up, remember, hip extension before knee extension. Working on a lot of great things in this movement here.